Hi, happy Monday. I'm just going to have a quick ramble while I've got the chance. I'm a bit annoyed, actually, and there's been like the theme of the week for me. I've had some major triggers that have unearthed some deep things that I don't think I'm quite through yet, and it's all for me to do with this energy, and I've spoken about this so many times before, but it's about this energy of misunderstanding or persecution energy, being misunderstood, misrepresented, misportrayed, misinterpreted, all the misses. and I've dealt with this feeling pretty much my whole life, really, and I've understood as I've gone along this internal journey that a lot of it is how I would describe as ancestral, which for me means that it's literally within my coding, within my memory, within my genetic makeup, within my blood, within my spiritual history. I don't know, but I know that it's ancient sort of cycles of this. Not all and not always, I've definitely experienced other end of spectrum in terms of acknowledging this powerful sort of destruction, that I've caused before to people or places or realms. Who knows? And again, these are just words that we use, aren't they, just to describe our own experiences. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I've always felt the persecution energy. And so I felt like I'd sort of dealt with most of that because I was knowing myself more. And annoyingly, again, 222 I saw then, on my last video, I always say I get my messages after speaking something to an existence, said that wrong, through the video. Well, same, I was smug last video, I wasn't smug, but, how I'm feeling now, shit, the battery's going. I was smug and I was talking about lifting myself up and away from irrelevancies and, trying to not look on YouTube and not be intertwined in others' feelings, thoughts or opinions. And that is definitely where I was, and that's definitely where I'm fucking trying to head back to. But I don't have Facebook, I don't have Instagram, and I don't watch the news or programmes or films even or anything. But I'm still hooked on the old frickin' YouTube, aren't I? So after I'd done that video, the next urge I got to look on YouTube wasn't that long after. It could have been half a day, could have been a day. Won't have been a day because I'm too addicted for that. Anyway, I was trying not to look. And I was thinking, don't be a bloody martyr. Just get on and have a look. And the minute I flipped up the app, this live stream was about to start, talking about blood types and blood groups, and I knew I was supposed to watch it. Well, it was the start of like some huge fucking massive burning fire in my soul and my body. It triggered me from start to finish. And like, I don't know if I've just said this or not, or I've just said it in my head, but I've done like 20 videos in this last few days since my last video because of being triggered so much by this one video. And as I was sort of working my way through the energies, it was like a fire was lit up and it was just not settling. It was not settling, and even humour wasn't working, and that's when I know, something's up. Like, it's coming back in now, and I can see the irrelevancy and, the joke in it as well, like the joke of it all. It's not even a big deal. This is silly old internet land with silly old people, just like you or I, with their silly little opinions. But for anybody who's new here, because I know I've got a few new subscribers since my video was shared by Melissa from Thoughts and Perceptions Out Loud, so thank you, Melissa. And if you've been here for ages, I'm sorry for the repetition, but during my Kundalini awakening, it was a dark night of the soul. I didn't know that at the time. And I was in astral battles, I had sleep paralysis, and then partway through this night, a bright green light shone in my bedroom, and a crystal materialised into some form out of thin air and hovered around for a few seconds and then just dissipated. And that night I was transferred these messages. They somehow got through to me, and I wasn't on YouTube posting nor viewing, so this was completely fresh, organic stuff for me, which is why I hold it so close and I know it's so dear to me personally in my story. But it was about DNA upgrades. I knew my DNA had been upgraded. This sounds so crazy, doesn't it? And the rhesus negative blood was important, and that I was here for a reason. And I know that sounds ridiculous, and I still have to check myself on that, because I'm much more self-deprecating than I am the type to big myself up. And so I've had to sort of like laugh about these messages that came through to me as well, you know, like your fucking ego, you know. But anyway, so it's always been really important to me. So alongside my awakening, I've kept my eye on narratives surrounding the rhesus negative blood. And, you know, obviously after that night, I looked on the internet and found loads of shit, you know, all the theories you can imagine. Some that stroke your ego, like, you know, descendants from Jesus, and then some that make you, you know, just like plain old lizard people or whatever. So I've kept my eye out on this, and the first video that I ever did on YouTube, it was called Rhesus Negative's Collective Awakening, and it was because I'd had this awakening, been downloaded this message about the blood, started looking on YouTube, and I've very quickly found loads of people who were sharing the same experiences. So I did this video and I got loads more people connecting and commenting, you know, their experiences. So I was quickly like, wow, you know, like, we're all like feeling the same, you know, are we having some sort of collective awakening? And this was back in March 2018, and then so I found loads of different people, and yeah, and it was just like, wow, you know, we're having these awakenings and these higher states of consciousness, and we're freeing ourselves somehow from some sort of mental bondage. Now I realise, you know, that is what's happening to everybody, and I don't think that rhesus negative people are superior or special in any way. And I really get triggered by that statement, because it's like, it doesn't matter, I get triggered by a lot. So I've kept my eye out, and I've seen and I've felt and I've known, I knew before I've seen it manifest before my eyes in the small community that I watch on YouTube, but I've seen it forming and growing, and it really grinds my gears. So over the last few days of doing these videos and slowly, you know, understanding how deep this is for me, this need to defend not only myself, you know, but rhesus negatives as a whole. You know, I've got this sort of, it's like, I don't know, you know, I'm sick of like persecution and misbetrayal, and so that is what's happening. I've done a few videos about it before, and I'm gathering my little evidence. I'm gathering my evidence. I'm gathering my thoughts, and I'm gonna do something that I hope I'll be proud of, you know, like a long presentation, because I feel like once I can get that out there, you know, my being, my inner chemistry, my inner alchemy, my karma, my fucking dharma, whatever, can sort of move on, you know, once I've given my opinion of how everything is back to front and upside down, and Not fact, because I would never claim fact like some people do. They love saying fact, because it makes you think it's fact if you don't check it. So, yeah, so I'm going to put my time and effort into this. So anyway, this is what's been going on for me for the last few days. I was just getting so triggered, and the portrayal is back to front. I can't even say any more, you know, without being offensive myself, you know, to the person whose opinion this is. And again, who cares, especially, you know. So I have to stop myself from saying nasty things. I've done like 10 videos over the last 4 days or something. Like, just, you know, I've done ones where I've tried to be funny. I've done ones where I've been so offensive. You know, it's no better than, you know, the person who's offending me and a whole group of people and many other groups of people. You know, I'm not alone in this. But yeah, so I get it. You know, we're told that the royal family and the elites have this bloodline, and definitely the Queen looks like a lizard, and you know, they all just look like old dead vampires, but who fucking knows again. And really what I just think that's triggered me the most is what I've spoken about here often, and it's the difference between knowledge and wisdom, and you know, waiting and sitting on information and collaborating, collating, collecting, you know, getting it all there before you start spouting your opinion off as fact, and creating narratives and future timelines with such horrific division. I just don't understand how anybody could think that's a good idea to do if they're, you know, on an awakening journey themselves, some spiritual awakening. As I'm talking about this, I feel it all rising in me, so I understand this is probably irrelevant to most people. This is my personal chip. But I've got to get it out there, because I think these things are created in fear, and there's been I'm talking about two different people, two different channels on YouTube. There's no point naming them because it would make me no better than them, but you know, with some sort of obvious agenda, and no spiritual foresight, you know, or wisdom before spouting off the mouths, because, you know, they're just stroking their egos at the base of it. So lack of integrity, lack of foresight, lack of understanding, and perpetuating fear and division and narratives within that. It's ridiculous, you know. So yeah, I've got a lot of longer videos to do. It's annoying. I've just come back from the place where I'm starting my job. Well, the head office anyway. And they've just ruined my day. I've just, like I just said, you know, this fire was lit up in me a few days, and doing these videos let little bits more out. And, you know, obviously I was speaking about other things, so I was able to, you know, catch myself, and, you know, that's obviously why, and that's related to that, and blah, 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 blah. So it's been super deep, my inward scooping this last few days, because at the base of it, you know, we need to know why we get triggered, what it is that triggers us, what it is that we see in someone else that's triggering us. You know, the person that's triggered me, I would say, is like potentially 100% opposite to me, you know, from outward perceptions. And maybe that's what triggers me, you know, maybe I wish I had a bit of, you know, sass or confidence, or, you know, I was just thinking, you know, yesterday, it was like the way that narratives and collectives and followers and followings and, you know, these theories and, you know, how things take place is through these influencers on YouTube, and I find it's hilarious, you know. Nobody knows anything. We're all just, you know, we're all just in this together, and yeah, usually what happens is that people who believe in their own bullshit the most, they've got the most conviction behind their own thoughts or beliefs, they start speaking it as fact and applying it to all, and then all the sheep and the followers follow, or, you know, so that's unfortunately what happens. And, you know, when you get a couple of these channels or personalities together, you know, then it's like real weight and followers, and sheep start following. And, you know, I just don't like it. I don't like it. I think people are twats sometimes, you know. Ugh, I've been triggered. So, trigger happy. I'm going to try and cheer myself up now. I've got to work tonight and tomorrow morning and all day tomorrow, and it's bothered me. It's like, you know, it's like, fuck off. I've got this feeling at the moment, like, fuck off. Oh, God. Laugh my way through it. Right, I'm going now. I'm sorry if that was low vibe. And again, you know, there's potential hypocrisies laced within what I've just said. I've got chips, but I've got feelings, and how my blood type is being portrayed as the absolute opposite of what I know I am, what I feel I am, and also what seems to be the case for, you know, 9 out of 10 people that you see on the internet who have declared their blood types or spoken about them in hundreds of comments, you know. Yeah. Anyway, Reese's negative hate, it's nothing new. It's just I'm fucking sick of it, and it shouldn't be driven by people who think they know better or say they know better. Be about it, you know. Anyway, happy Monday. I hope everybody's feeling good. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, let's just hang in there. And as hard as it is to take the higher moral ground, just do it. You know, I'm so grateful that I didn't post any of these videos that I'd done in response to what had triggered me so much, because I'd not quite understood, and I was, you know, just as ridiculous partaking in the exchange of energy. God's sake. Anyway, bye.